Good morning, students. Today I will teach you a new poem. The name of the poem is The Pilgrim. It's lesson 1.3 on page 13. Open your books, lesson 1.3 on page 13. Now, the name of this poem, The Pilgrim. What do you mean by pilgrim in the first place? A pilgrim is a person who goes on a pilgrimage. You know how you all say you all go to Vaishno Devi, you all go Char Dham. It's a play. It's when you go to a holy place for whatever purpose you have. Maybe you need peace of mind. You need to be alone for some time. You need to pray to God. Or you are getting old and you have nothing else to do. So you go to clear. What do you say? Clear yourself from your sins, okay, or be good in the eyes of God. Now, this poem is written by an unknown poet. We don't know the name of the poet, that's why it's called anonymous. Yes, the poet is anonymous. We do not know the name of the poet. Now, the message. This poem is a lovely poem because it gives a message of being selfless. Yes, giving to others unconditionally, not thinking of what you will gain when you give others something. Yes, now here it's also telling you the importance of your good work, that you will be known by the good work that you do, not by the position you hold, not by the money that you have, but you will be known by the good work that you do when you are alive. Yes, good work for others. Yes, through your actions, through your good deeds. That's what the poem is about. So let's start the poem. The first stanza, the poem is divided into 3 stanzas. A pilgrim going a lone way came at evening cold and grey to a chasm deep and vast and wide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The chasm held no fear for him, but he paused when he reached the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. Okay, the first one, a pilgrim going a lone highway. Now, lone means lonely, all alone. Okay. Now, is the highway alone? Who is alone? The pilgrim. So, which figure of speech is it? Transferred epithet. Yes, because it's not the highway that is lonely, it is the pilgrim that is alone. Okay. Also, it's a personification because you are saying that the highway is lonely. Okay. Next line. Came at evening cold and grey. Yes. Cold and grey, the letter C is repeated for poetic effect. So, alliteration. So, cold and grey. Grey means very dull. It's not a bright color. Yes. So, it was a very cold and dull evening. To a chasm deep and vast and wide. So, how is a chasm being described? What is a chasm in the first place? It's a gap between a very deep gap between two things. Maybe a path that you're going and there is no more road ahead. There's a big chasm in between. You have to cross the chasm by using a bridge, maybe. Okay, so it's like a deep, not a valley exactly, but it's a big gap between maybe a path that comes in a way, and it's very, very deep. So here the chasm is being described as being deep, vast is very huge, vast and wide. Vast is very, so here vast and wide, almost the same meaning. So tautology, tautology, tautology. Vast means spread out all around, quite big. Yes, and that's the same meaning of wide. So the old man crossed in the twilight dim. It is inversion because it's not the twilight dim, in the dim twilight. Now dim means where it's very dull, it's not bright at all, there's very less light. Yes, and twilight is a time, evening time, when it's not yet night and it's not even fully daytime. It's a time where the day is entering evening, or the evening is entering the night. Yes, it's a very dull time of the day, it's not bright at all. Now the next one, the chasm held no fear for him. So here what is he saying? Even in spite of this deep vast chasm, he was not scared at all. He was not afraid to cross the chasm. But he paused when he reached the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. Now, pause means wait for some time, stop for some time. Yes. Now, what did he do? But he was not scared of the chasm. He managed to cross the chasm. Correct? After crossing the chasm, he could have gone ahead because he had to go on a pilgrimage. He could have just walked ahead and gone on his journey, but he did not do that. He stopped and he went back and started building a bridge. Now the last line, build a bridge, letter B is repeated, so alliteration. I hope you all are marking. Okay, now yeah, to span the tide means to go across. Yes, across the space that is there, was there between that caused by the chasm. Yes, so here, why I'm asking you a question, why do you think the chasm held no fear for him? He was not afraid. Here, okay, chasm held no fear for him could be alliteration because H for held and H for him. Yes, now maybe he was a very experienced man. See, he's saying he was not a very young person, and the fourth line, the old man. Yes, so he had a lot of experience, he had a lot of knowledge, and maybe he was a person who was an adventurous person. So he was not afraid, and he knew how to face difficulties, he knew how to face danger and overcome them. So that is why he had no fear. There may be even another reason that he was not scared, because he was going on a pilgrimage and he knew God was with him. So if God is with you, you have nothing, absolutely nothing to fear. Yes? So let's go on to the next stanza. Old man, said a fellow pilgrim near, why waste your time in building here? Your journey ends with the close of the day. You never again will pass this way. You have crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build ye here at eventide? So that means there was a fellow pilgrim, someone else traveling with him. Yes, fellow pilgrim means someone else who was with him. What did he say? He told him, old man, why are you wasting your time building over here? You managed to cross the chasm? Go ahead. You are just wasting. What did he, the effort that he was taking, building a bridge, that man called it a waste of time. Correct? Now, what did he say? Your journey ends with the close of the day. Means at the end of the day, your journey gets over. You take your rest. Or you go ahead. Why are you tiring yourself building the bridge again when you have already crossed? Okay. Close of the day, when the day is over. Okay. Yes, the second line, why waste your time in building here? The letter W is repeated, so alliteration. It's also interrogation because it's a rhetorical question. The answer is in the question itself. That is no use wasting your time building here. So interrogation also, the same line. Have you all marked it? Okay, the next. You never again will pass this way. It is inversion because it should be you will never again pass this way. You will never again pass this way. That's the proper prose order. Immersion. You have crossed the chasm deep and wide. Again the letter C is repeated, so alliteration. Why build ye here at eventide? Y-E is Old English for you, Y-O-U. It is an archaic word, A-R-C-H-I-A-C, archaic word. Eventide, what is eventide? Eventide is for evening time, yes? So again this is a rhetorical question. He's telling him it's no use when that you are building here when it is eventide time. It's time to rest and you're wasting your time building over here. Moving on to the next. The pilgrim raised his old grey head. My friend, in the path I've come, he said, there followeth after me today a fair-headed youth who must pass this way. The chasm which held no fears for me, to the fair-headed youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. My friend, I'm building this bridge for him. What did the pilgrim say? The old pilgrim, see, grey hair shows that he was old. His hair also had turned grey. He's calling the fellow pilgrim his friend. So he says, the way that I have come, the path that I have come through, they follow it after me today. So follow it, again old archaic English, means to follow. Okay, then, so who is following him? A fair-headed youth, means a young man. A young man who must pass this way. Yes, so the letter W is repeated, so alliteration, W for who and W for way. So he's saying that the way that I have come, the path that I have come, the road that I have taken, in that same road, you will find other people as well. Here he's not just talking of just one fair-headed man. Yes, he's talking of all the young pilgrims who will be coming after him. The chasm which held no fear for me, to the fair-headed youth may a pitfall be. So what he's saying, the chasm which I was not afraid of, which was not something so dangerous for me, may be something very dangerous for the young fair-headed youth. Yes? Now, what do you mean by pitfall? It could be a trap. It could be something dangerous. It could be something which could lead to your fall or your death also. Okay? Or like say you're very famous and you did something and that something was a pitfall for you. Means you now lost all your fame and your name and it became a shameful thing for you. Understood? Just not necessarily that you're falling down. You're falling down from your position. You're falling down from literally, actually, physically falling. All that pitfall. Okay. Now this line, to the fair-headed youth may a pitfall be. It is inversion because it may be a pitfall, not pitfall be, may be a pitfall. So the words are not in the proper prose order. Proper prose orders may be a pitfall. To the fair-headed youth. Have you all written? Okay. He too must cross in the twilight dim. My friend, I'm building this bridge for him. The last line again, letter B is repeated for poetic effect. The second last line, letter T is repeated for poetic effect in 2TOO and twilight. Yes, B is repeated in the last line, building and bridge. Yes, so what he is saying that this person following him, who is coming after him, may have no experience or very little experience. Maybe someone who is scared. Yes, so he is not sure of things. That's the reason he is going ahead, maybe going in wherever he is going. So he needs someone to guide him, and he is helping him by making his way safe. Yes, by building the bridge for him. That man may not be able to cross at all, or maybe even if he tries, he may fall and harm himself, which may even result in his death. So that's the reason he doesn't want him to fall in or face unnecessary danger for his life. And he says, I have reached almost the end of my life, so I can do this. And it's not very difficult for me, so why not? He's not thinking of himself that I'm old, I'm tired, I have come such a long way, and I need the rest because I have to go ahead the next day. He is not thinking of that. That is what this poem is about. Not thinking only of yourself, being selfless, giving your service to others. That is the message that we get in this poem. Okay, now one question. Who do you think this fair-headed youth could be? It could be anybody. Maybe he is talking of his own son who will be coming here in this path, same path, using the same way, maybe in a few years. Or he may be talking of anyone else, maybe someone known to him, maybe even an unknown person. He's talking of any person, young person, inexperienced person traveling on this path. Clear? Poem is over. Okay. Now, as a homework, you have to write the poem. You have to also write the figures of speech. And you will do this part, the one, pick out the words from the poem and fill in the web diagram. You will do the second one also. You will also do the third one. And you will write the rhyme scheme of the poem. That is the fourth A part of it. Fourth A and B, yes, both of them. Fourth A and B, that is the rhyme. Fourth A is just nothing, is just information. But you will write the rhyme scheme of the poem, that is 4B. Clear? So, this is your homework for today. Hope you all write your lesson, that is your poem, properly. I will give you all the poem analysis after you have finished this and after I have given your homework, or maybe even the next lecture I will give you all your poem analysis. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.